No, let's sit it right there. I just told you is that if you don't want to fight, then you don't want to fight. There's no clauses, there's no catches, there's no nothing.
He's ready. My guy is ready. I mean, that's a great fight. Shakur is a hell of a talent. I don't think that he's Devin at all. But we'll see. We hear a lot of, the media and jumping in the ring. Like Devin always says, you got to put some substance with it and talk to the right people and do the right things and do it the right way, and let's make it happen.
As the talks of a potential fight between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney are rising, Devin's father, Bill Haney, has raised his concerns.
These guys don't want to do it, you know what I mean? And then when I said that they say everything except let's fight, that same phrase that we coined on Champ Side Boxing, it's standing to be even more true.
Bill Haney took aim at Shakur Stevenson by labeling him Twitterson, arguing that the talk on social media outweighed the action against elite opponents. He maintained that a legitimate offer to fight Devin Haney was on the table and urged Shakur to put the phone down and make it official by signing the contract.
Every time Devin got a fight, here come Twitterson. Here come Twitterson. I'm telling you, every time he got a fight, here come Twitterson. And even when we tried to negotiate with Twitterson, right? We tried to talk to him, he came back out and started tweeting. That's why they changed it to X.
However, Shakur Stevenson remains confident he can outbox Devin Haney, relying on his defensive mastery, speed, and precise counterpunching. He believes that by controlling distance, slipping Haney's jab, and picking his moments carefully, he can dictate the fight and prove that his technical skill makes him the superior fighter in the ring.
I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
For me, personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
Bill Haney confidently warns that Shakur will face elite speed, precise defense, and proven championship experience. He believes there will be no easy night in the ring, and any weakness will be exposed under the bright lights.
I want your thoughts on Shakur saying he not fighting Dev unless he got a rehydration clause.
Shakur, man, honestly, you know what I mean? Because, I can pop it on channels and shit like that and do that, you know what I mean? And we can have fun with it. But, over here on the Boxing Voice, right, I want to ask, in or around the division, every bad around Devin has gotten an offer to fight, or they've been in the ring, or, who else has that happened with? All the fights that the people want to see Devin fight, the person that got either a contract or Devin and got in the ring with him. Can we say that about anybody else?
Bill Haney went off on Shakur Stevenson, accusing him of avoiding the toughest tests after an offer to fight Devin Haney came to light. He questioned Shakur's readiness to face top opposition and pushed him to settle it where it matters most, inside the ring.
Did you see Shakur's interview where he said that he might fight Devin at 47 if he was on the rehydration clause?
He had an opportunity and there was no clauses, there was none of that, you know what I mean? Obviously with them, the time will be right for them to fight, now, you know what I'm saying? The weight that they fight at, they've always been one weight behind each other or one weight after. Shakur will come up, you know what I mean? Devin will be at that weight for, have been campaigning at that weight. It's on him, you know what I mean? It's on him. He knows that he's going to get this fade sooner or later. So it's only a matter of time. Obviously, we can't go down, we can't go down to 135. So, he would have to come up and, he can get this work anytime he ready.
Bill Haney has firmly rejected rehydration clauses for Devin Haney, refusing to accept any post-weigh-in limits. Introducing such terms could quickly complicate negotiations with Shakur Stevenson.
He's on the list. Is that a fight you guys are seeking, or are you leaving it alone since he's saying that it would require Devin to get a rehydration clause? Is that something you're willing to get on a phone and discuss how many pounds exactly?
Well, when you're speaking about Debo, you might hear a whole lot of shit that's inconsistent with things that you say
about normal fighters. When you talk about a generational talent like Dev, you would expect those that are elite to look to have, to be on a level playing field. What you weigh is what you weigh, and how you get down the next day is, it's what it's all about,
Devin Haney also dismissed the proposal of a tight rehydration restriction, believing it would leave him compromised once the bell rang. He felt limiting how much weight he could put back on would take away his strength and stamina. While still pursuing major matchups, he made it clear he would not agree to terms that might undercut what he could deliver in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, I wouldn't and I couldn't know who the rehydration clause. At the end of the day, I'm the man with the belts, we man with the hardware. No. If it was a rehydration clause, it would be something that I wouldn't do.
Opposing Haney's stance, Stevenson's team views a rehydration clause as crucial for fairness, especially when moving up in weight, to prevent one fighter from gaining an overnight size advantage. Bill Haney's refusal to accept any limits could complicate negotiations, potentially delaying or even blocking a Stevenson-Haney matchup. Trainer Wally Moses explained that such clauses exist to prevent fighters from regaining excessive weight after the official weigh-in, ensuring neither competitor enters the ring with a major size edge.
Just now, he came out there with the aspect like he's a really big guy. It's just, but he's not a really big guy, so I don't want people think he got so much power, he's so strong, He's not no killer. You see him seem like a killer to you? That's not to me, so.
Mickey Bay pushed back on the idea of attaching a rehydration clause to a Stevenson versus Haney matchup. From his perspective, top-level professionals should not be limiting what the other man can weigh once they step off the scale. If both sides agree to the fight, then it should unfold under standard conditions without extra restrictions getting in the way.
When you hear that Stevenson wants a rehydration clause with Devin, knowing that this has been a rivalry for a while, what do you think about that? Like, what was your reaction to that?
Believe in rehydration clauses unless the fighter's overweight. If a fighter's overweight, by all means. But if you want to fight a guy, I think you should just fight him. I ain't saying that I'm only not with them two, no, because he not that much bigger than Shakur. They always been like one weight apart. But I'm saying some fights may be an exception, but I don't think fighters that good need him. Floyd, well, he did it, I think, against Canelo, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, I ain't gonna bring him up because Floyd is Floyd. Like but
yeah, we're gonna get into him in a second too.
Yeah, Floyd is Floyd. Like at the end of the day, but when it comes to boxing.
According to Bay's assessment, those kinds of restrictions only make sense if someone misses the agreed number on the scale. Absent that, he believes rehydration caps tamper with the competitive balance, since even a small increase in weight can translate into more strength, sturdiness, and effectiveness once the bell rings.
But no, with Ben and Shakur, I don't think he need one. So I would rather have more money than pay him more. And then, because if you could beat him, I think he could just beat him, flat out beat him. Sometimes a weight advantage ain't always good.
No, but Shakur wants it with Devin too.
No, that don't need a weight. That don't need one either. If you're gonna fight a guy, just fight him. And then say if the fighter's overweight, then it should be a weight clause. That should be a rule. What in boxing, like if a fighter's a certain amount of pounds overweight, if you want to make the fight happen, it should be a weight clause. Like when Ryan came over like that, all of that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it should be a huge penalty. Like, because that's an advantage, like a huge advantage. If you tell most dudes in boxing, they get 3, 4 pounds over their weight, the day of the fight or the day before, they gonna be a whole different. You're going to have a huge advantage.
Devin Haney recently called out Shakur Stevenson on social media, calling their potential fight the next biggest fight in boxing, and hinting it could be a massive payday for both. He framed it as a high-profile matchup fans are eager to see, and one that could boost both careers. Stevenson responded cautiously, quoting Haney's post with, "Be careful what you ask for. Things might just happen," showing interest while keeping his options open and preserving negotiating leverage.
Yesterday, media, I'm doing the media stuff yesterday. I'm going around. Devin talked a little bit. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh man, I seen some of this.
You seen a little something? He said one of the things they asked him, they said, They asked him about his biggest payday or something, and he was like, yo, every time
Cap,
anybody fight me, it's the biggest
Cap.
payday. He
You
said,
ain't
I
it.
offer Shakur his biggest payday.
I know where you going.
That's what he said.
Cap.
Yeah.
He just capping for like social media. Like he not gonna be like realistic about the situation. The thing, like the behind the scenes, like I talk to these people behind the scenes too. It ain't like he's the only person who's having conversations behind the scene. I know the full numbers of everything. I know what the number was when they was going to present the fight. It wasn't more than what I made in my last 3 fights. It's less than what I made in my last 3 fights. And that man getting way more, you feel me, than he ever made in his entire career to fight me. So it's like, you capping, like you going on social media capping and trying to spread lies to keep your name good. Like that's what I see from him, man.
Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson share a long history. Having grown up together in the sport as young prospects, they developed their skills in the amateur ranks, closely followed each other's progress, and over time built mutual respect as they rose through the professional ranks.
Yeah, I like Shakur. I think he's good. I've been knowing Shakur since I was a kid, so I always knew that he was good. I knew that he would be at the top one day. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, me and Shakur, we've been sparring since, bro, I think my first sparring session we were like 12 years old, maybe a little bit older, but something like around it, maybe like 13 years old. So it's been times when he got the best of me and I got the best of him. But I cannot, judge him off of those sparring sessions. I know he's gotten better, just like I can't judge Ryan off of the fights we fought when we were kids, because I know that he's gotten better, and so have I. If you judge off a sparring session, I mean, you're gonna be in for a long night, especially a sparring session when I was a kid.
Shakur Stevenson recalls growing up in the same amateur boxing circles as Devin Haney, sparring and competing alongside him for years. He says those early battles, where he often came out on top, helped sharpen his skills and prepare both fighters for the professional level. Stevenson has expressed a desire to take on the biggest fights, including Haney, and notes that their shared amateur history adds extra intrigue to a potential pro matchup. While negotiations have stalled, fans see their past as a reason a professional clash would be highly significant.
Me and Devin, we came up together like in the amateurs. I used to go to his house down in Vegas. He used to live in like a big mansion, and I was kind of like, I was like a broke young nigga from the trenches at the time. But when I seen like the way he was living, that shit kind of motivated me, and it made me want to like work harder and get to that kind of status. But he really it was his dad money at that time though.
So his dad, yeah. So what exactly did his dad do to have that much money?
I can't tell you. I don't know. I know that nigga was rich though.
Sean Porter is confident that a Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney's fight will be incredibly close and full of drama. He highlights the speed, awareness, and technical skill of both fighters, making it hard to pick a clear favorite. Porter envisions a fast-paced chess match where reactions and decision-making matter as much as punches, with each ready to capitalize on any mistake. He expects the bout to shift constantly, showcasing elite technique and strategy while keeping fans on the edge of their seats from start to finish.
I don't know who I see beating Shakur Stevenson.
Right?
I really don't know who I see beating him.
It's good.
The thing with that is it's an amazing fight because both guys are very quick, very intuitive, and very fast and sharp. I do lean with, I'm not even gonna pick a winner in that because this is my first time playing it in my head, and I just see it. It's just so back and forth. And it's that fast chess that we always talk about, and it's that fast chess, which it's gonna be slick.
What wins a fast chess match? What makes a difference?
Who's fastest?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's who's fastest, and it's also not just who's fastest with the hands, but also mentally to make that setup in that second move. Both guys have the ability to do it, so it's just, I think that fight really is just a matter of who's able to set up and capitalize the fastest. That's a fantastic fight.
Roy Jones Jr. praised Shakur Stevenson's win over Teofimo Lopez as beautiful, pointing to his discipline and elite defense reminiscent of Floyd Mayweather. He respected that Stevenson keeps facing top opposition, strengthening his reputation at the highest level.
Shakur Stevenson is a very good fighter, but you gotta learn, and I will hope he will pay attention to this because this is gonna mean a lot for him. His feet are good, but sometimes they take him too far out of range to be able to come back and counter. The last guy he fought, the guy was a good puncher, so when he was jumping back, he was jumping too far back out of range to where he couldn't come back and get something right away. You know what I'm saying? And for the fans, it starts to look bored.
That's how I say. I feel like he was running.
He really ain't running. He just don't understand that this is somebody
Yeah.
got to teach him. And I would teach him if they brought him to me to teach him. But he got to understand what I'm trying to tell him. I'm not trying to criticize him.
Right.
When you say something bad, they take it as criticism.
Right.
No, son, you got to understand how to not jump. Okay, people know what the thing that dig the hole, the excavator, right?
Yeah.
If you move that thing back too far, you can't reach the job.
Right.
It's got to work, but it got to stay on the job while it work. You can't take it out of, if you working with this, because this part keeps it on the job, the feet. This do the work. If you take the thing and move it back, it's off the job, it can't work no more. Right. So if you move it back every time off the job, it ain't gonna ever get no work done. So now it's gonna become boring.
Roy Jones Jr. explained that when Shakur Stevenson drifts too far out after defending, it can cost him opportunities to fire back. He felt remaining a touch closer would allow Stevenson to punish mistakes more consistently and turn defense into immediate offense. Even with that critique, Jones viewed him as an elite talent and believed small adjustments could raise his level even higher.
It started on the hold, then it moved to another. It started on the hold, then it moved to another. When we gonna get a pond dug? We're not, because it's taking off the job too much. You gotta leave it on the job for it to get a pond dug. And that's his only thing. He a great fighter. He got great eyesight. He has great reaction time. He gonna be a great fighter. He just gotta figure out how to use them feet a little different.
Is he the best defensive fighter out of all four of them?
Right now, defensive, yes, because his defense is with his feet. That's what people don't understand. Defense isn't with your hands, it's with your feet. And he has the best foot defense of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if he uses it for defense, when it's strictly defense, yes. But when you want to make it offensive, you can't do the same. You gotta cut it in half. And that's the only thing he had a problem with. Once he learns that, or figures that out, he gonna be a killer.
Would the skill he has now make him the best out of them four?
Right now, no. Because some people gonna say, boy, and the reason the rest of them don't want to fight him is because they know he know that back foot game so well that he's not gonna engage until he wants to engage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing too. But for the fans and to be
not right now,
the ratings, you gotta be able to engage when they need you to engage.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't, then you're gonna become bored.
Former world champion Tim Bradley believes Shakur Stevenson is poised to become one of boxing's biggest stars, potentially eclipsing Terrence Bud Crawford in mainstream recognition. He notes that while Crawford's achievements are legendary, his low media profile limited broader fame. Stevenson, by contrast, actively engages with fans on social media. Bradley argues that paired with his skill, confidence, and media presence, Stevenson could emerge as one of the defining faces of the sport's next generation, even if charisma isn't his natural trait.
Just about Shakur and his I would say projection. You know, the irony is it's crazy because, you know, back when, you know, I was helping somewhat mentoring Terrence Crawford, you know, Terrence Crawford surpassed everything I done did and more. Interesting enough, Terrence Crawford mentored Shakur, and Terrence Crawford is on Mount Rushmore. Yeah, he is for sure. But I feel like Shakur, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terrence Crawford.
Timothy Bradley Jr. sees Shakur Stevenson as having all the tools to become boxing's next major star. His technical skill, defensive mastery, and sharp boxing IQ position him to help shape a new era in the sport, one where precision and strategy take precedence over sheer power.
Brian Garcia, Devin Haney, you know, Conor Ben, like there's a lot of fights that like Shakur can like be involved in and beat all these dudes, man. Beat all of them. Has a chance of beating all of them, right? And solidifying, you know, his mark in the sport. You know, being, you know, the great of his generation. You know, when Crawford left, I told y'all that, you know, Shakur was the next guy on the throne. And I truly wholeheartedly still believe that. I know there's guys that has worked with Shakur in the past that swear up and down. Oh, shoot, I even forgot Murataya. Murataya is there too. Guys like Andy Cruz. I mean, there's a lot of talented guys that people respect that Shakur has the ability to freaking challenge.
However, plans for a Stevenson versus Haney fight faced complications after Stevenson ran into a WBC issue. He attempted to fight at 140 lbs for another organization's title while keeping his WBC lightweight belt, but the rules require a formal written request to retain a title when moving up in weight. Stevenson's team only made verbal inquiries and never submitted the paperwork, so the WBC vacated, not stripped, his belt. President Mauricio Sulaiman confirmed the decision followed the organization's long-standing rules applied to all champions.
Why is Shakur Stevenson no longer the champion?
Thank you. Let me give you the full story. We received a call from his management in which they requested the WBC to have Shakur Stevenson fight on a different weight category while maintaining the lightweight championship, and being this a WBC event, which even they asked for a special belt for the fight. We explained clearly that that is within the WBC rules, and that I would be very happy to convey that to the board and make it happen, because Shakur has been associated with WBC since 2019. I told his management they needed to send a written request in order to start all the process. From that point on, we had another couple of conversations. They were supposed to send a written request, which didn't happen.
The WBC also described why Shakur needs their permission for changing weight class and set a sanctioning fee for Stevenson to compete in another weight class while retaining his title, calculated as a standard portion of the fighter's purse for special events. President Mauricio Sulaiman stressed the fee is not meant as punishment, but reflects the value of holding a WBC championship, and it can be adjusted if deemed disproportionate to the purse. Stevenson criticized the requirement as unnecessary and excessive, while analyst Mannix argued such rules can frustrate elite fighters and limit career flexibility. Mauricio defended the policy, saying it ensures fairness, preserves the legitimacy of titles, and maintains the sport standards.
We sent a letter insisting on them we tried everything to avoid this situation. What we send is the WBC approves your petition to fight, and according to the WBC rules, a fee of $120,000, which is less than the 3% that should be, which they, by the way, they can contest and say, no, we're not making this amount, we are making this, and we have done it many times. We have adjusted the sanction fees when the promoter or the manager or the fighter proves that it is less. Since we had zero communication from their side, we initiated that and we put $120,000 fee on they've been saying he made 7 or 10 million or whatever. We had zero response. The only response was, we will receive it, we will address this later today.
Andre Ward condemned the WBC's decision to strip Shakur Stevenson of his world title, calling it ridiculous in a passionate rant. The Olympic gold medalist reacted angrily to the ruling, expressing strong disagreement with the organization's handling of the situation. Andre Ward said, "It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't respect it. I don't agree with it." For Mauricio Sulaiman to say things like, "The reason you were able to sell the Madison Square Garden fight at that level is that you have the WBC belt," is absolutely crazy. There is a place for a younger fighter, possibly winning his first WBC belt, and his stature goes up, but it's not because he has the green belt. The last time I checked, there's also a WBA, IBF, and WBO sanctioning body, and there's Ring Magazine. Andre Ward criticized WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman as tone-deaf, highlighting that fighters like Terence Crawford and Shakur Stevenson are pushing back against unfair rules and gaining from it. He stressed that athletes fight not only inside the ring, but also for fairness, warning that the WBC's current approach risks failure. Andre Ward stated, "I just think Mauricio Sulaiman is tone-deaf about what's going on, and he just doesn't understand the shakeup with fighters, and things are changing. Fighters are looking at their contracts and this fine print, and they're not only looking at the small print, but they're making stands. Terence Crawford made a stand. Shakur Stevenson made a stand, and they are literally richer because of it, but they are starting a trend. I've also had my fair share of issues with the WBC. I've had to make public stands against them, because we're not just fighters in the ring, we're fighters in life. When we feel like we're getting pressed, especially unjustly, we're gonna stand for it. I just don't think it's going to end well for the WBC and what they're trying to do. So, who would come out on top if Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney finally meet in the ring? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below.